what is more important than your peace? You know, we assign importance based on where we place our attention. We're always attentive to something. Every single moment of every single day, your attention is on something. And so it's just starting to recognize what your attention is on. And so often our attention is on the thinking mind. And so we literally experience the world through the thoughts flowing through our mind. It's like wearing a virtual reality headset. That's how we see the world. That's how we hear. That's how we experience everything through all of the senses. You know, this information is coming in, and the thoughts in the mind, they're like filters. So we have an experience which is governed by the belief system that we hold in our unconscious mind. So we focus on typically things that we don't want, that we don't like, and that we want to get rid of. The mind is a problem-solving tool, and so often we're looking at the world, we're looking at experience, and we're always labeling it as wrong in some way, and then we're going to experience wrongness. It's going to feel wrong when that judgment is colouring every experience that we have. So it's useful to recognise that what we put our attention on is what we experience, and so actually in any given moment to let go of that filtered experience from the mind, we can actually just bring our attention into this moment, onto the space around you, for example. We're so focused on the content in life. Like the people, the objects, the sounds, and yet there's a context of stillness and silence and space. And one of the most easy ways is to just, if you're in a room full of people, is to shift your attention from the people to the space in between the people. If you're on your own, you can shift your attention from your body or the objects in the room to the space in between you. And your laptop, for example, or the TV, or whatever device that we're typically on in most moments. Or if you're cooking, for example, the space between you and the utensils that you're using, and the cooker and the ingredients. And just doing that just starts to allow our experience to become more quiet, more calm, which you might experience as peaceful. Because peace is in the space. It's not in all the stuff in life. I think we often have tick boxes and things that we kind of want to do, like I'm going to feel peaceful if this, and this happens. And we need like a format for our day that creates peace. But actually, peace is the underlying reality of everything. Every moment, it's within the space. And so, just bringing our attention back onto the context of that still silent space, which we can do in any given moment. In the busiest of environments, always that subtle shift of attention that we can have, and then we experience everything in a more quiet way, a more grounded, contented way. So prioritize your peace. Make peace more important than anything else. And, even in terms of the interactions that you have, the people that you hang out with, the things that you do, look at that. Is there a way to prioritize your peace within all of that? Well, what is the most peaceful option in any given moment? And sometimes that's just the simplest thing of, recognizing you're having a conversation in your head that's stressing you out. Just stop and notice the space around you and see if that makes a difference to your experience right now. And then kind of a rinse and repeat thing is useful, so that you can keep drawing your attention wide. It sounds very useful as well, so that you, if you're doing something, you can just start to pay attention to what else you can hear. Even if you're having a conversation with somebody, you can hear the sound of their voice, you can hear their words, but, can you notice birds singing, or traffic going by, or a clock ticking, and it just then widens your awareness, so you have a more gentle experience. Everything starts to become more equal. And it's only when we kind of make something more important than anything else, which we do by what we put our attention on. You know, if we're really hyper focused on what somebody's saying and they're being, you know, angry or saying something rude about you, for example, you know, then you're going to feel the full impact of that. Whereas if you actually start to explore, you know, listening for the silence that the voice exists within, or listening to the other sounds that you can hear in the room that you're in and maybe outside the room you're in, does that give you a different experience while you're having that conversation? You know, it's a fun experiment to play with, to always explore and see in this moment, can you have a different experience than what you're having based on where your attention is?